Okay, in this class, we are going to discuss about the characteristics of a DC generator. So let me define the DC generator initially. DC generator is electrical machine which converts the mechanical input to the DC electrical output. But in this lecture, we are going to concentrate only on the characteristics of a DC generator. Why do you study the characteristics of any machine? Means to know the performance of the particular machine. See here, the performance is nothing but a, suppose we have a one DC generator. Across the generator we connected some load. So whenever we connect a load across the generator, how much voltage it is giving to the load, that we should know. If you further increase the load on the generator, the voltage across the generator will be drastically decreases. So we should know at what point, at what load the generator can give the voltage within the limit. Suppose if we take the example as electrical load. See here, if you take these are all the fans and tubelets, everything, it is taking the 220 volts. Suppose if you apply the voltage less than the 220 volts means 180 volts or 150 volts means the performance of the loads will be affected. Suppose if you take the fan, if you apply the less voltage means it's slowly running. Incandescent lamps or fluorescent lamps, it very dull if you apply less amount of the voltage. See here, the performance of the DC generator. So what is the power generated by the DC generator? That is given to the load, whereas the function of the load is highly depending upon the how much load we are giving to the load. That's why we should know the some of the characteristics of a DC generator. See here, the main objective of the studying of these characteristics of DC generator is to know the performance. In this lecture, the student can able to understand and also analyze the characteristics of a DC generator. See here, there are three characteristics are there. So one is open circuit characteristics, the second one is the internal characteristics, third one is the external characteristics. See here, this is the open circuit characteristics, internal characteristics, and third one is the external characteristics. The open circuit characteristics are nothing but a open. In the name itself it is there, it is open. Nothing but a, there is no load is connected across the generator. It is the curve drawn between the field current of a generator to the no load voltage. It is a curve drawn between the field current IF versus E0. E0 is nothing but a no load voltage. Nothing but we are not connected any load across the generator. We are not connected any load across the generator. Now come to the external characteristics. External characteristics are nothing but a, it is a curve drawn between the load current to the terminal voltage IL versus VL, or sometimes we are calling as a, this is a VT also, IL versus VT, load current versus terminal voltage. As the load is increases, how the terminal voltage of generator will be, whether it is increases or decreases for a given generator, that we are going to study. But here one more characteristics are there, that is the internal characteristics. Internal characteristics we are finding from the external characteristics. From this one we are finding the external characteristics. We are not going to conduct any test on a machine to find the internal characteristics, but we are conducting a test on a DC generator to find the external characteristics. Once we know the external characteristics, then we can find the internal characteristics of a generator. It is a curve drawn between the load current to the voltage induced in a generator after the armature reaction. After the armature reaction. That is the point here. Nothing but internal voltage. It is a curve drawn between the load current to the voltage induced in a generator after the armature reaction. After the armature reaction. That we are going to see individually. Open circuit characteristics. Open. Nothing but the generator terminals are open. There is no load is connected across the generator. Sometimes we are calling this open circuit characteristics as a OCC characteristics of a generator. In a simple way, OCC. O stands for the open, C stands for the circuit, again C stands for the characteristics. Now here we are conducting this test to know the magnetic characteristics of a generator, also known as a magnetic characteristics. Nothing but the voltage induced in a generator is highly depending upon the field current. As the field current changes, how the voltage induced in a generator is changing, that we come to know from this open circuit characteristics. Nothing but if you are giving some amount of current, suppose if you give the 1 ampere of current here, suppose if you give the 1 ampere of current to the field winding, how much voltage is induced? That may be the 120 volts. Suppose if you give 2 amperes of field current, how much voltage is induced? 230 volts, like that. The open circuit characteristics are nothing but no load characteristics. Sometimes we are calling as a magnetic characteristics of a DC generator. It is also relation between the field current to the voltage induced in a generator without connecting any load across the generator. At a constant speed. But here we have to maintain the speed of a generator is the constant. See here, in our lab, how we are going to conduct the OCC test means, for a generator we should give the mechanical input, but here in our lab, we have a DC motor. The DC motor is giving the mechanical output that is given to the generator. Nothing but when the DC motor is rotating, the armature of a DC generator also rotating, because both are mechanically coupled. When the motor is rotating, the generator also will be rotating. First we are fixing the speed of a generator by means of a motor at a constant value. So how much speed we have to maintain means, generally that value is given by the manufacturer, that is on the nameplate detail. See, suppose you can take that speed as a 1500 RPM. What are the generators are available in our lab? Operate the generator as a separately excited, no load, and keep the speed as a constant. So whatever the field current is there, the field current should be excited with a separate source. That may be shunt generator or series generator, whatever it is. You separate the field winding. For the field winding, you give the separate DC supply. The generator is already connected to the motor. By means of a motor, you run the generator at a constant speed. That we can measure by means of a tachometer. So this is the circuit diagram. For the OCC characteristics of a DC generator. This total thing is representing the DC motor, which is giving the mechanical input to the generator. See, if you observe here, this is mechanically coupled. By means of a motor, we are running the generator at a constant speed. In this case, we have taken the constant speed as a 1500 RPM. Start the motor by means of a motor, run the generator at a 1500 RPM. Whenever the speed of a generator is reaching the 1500 RPM, whenever the speed of generator is reaching the 1500 RPM, first you have to open the switch. First you have to open the switch and note down the readings of voltmeter and ammeter. The first reading we should take at a constant speed by opening the switch. By opening this switch. Next, after closing the switch, by varying the field rheostat here, this is field rheostat is there. By varying the field rheostat, here the field rheostat is there. So why we are keeping this field rheostat means, we are keeping the field rheostat here to change the field current. See here, by again I repeating the same procedure. By means of a DC motor, start the DC generator, keep the switch in open circuit, and note down the reading. This voltmeter reading, there is no current is flowing through the field winding. So after noting the voltmeter reading, close the switch. So whatever the voltage is there, that sending a current through the field winding. Now the field current, when the current is increases, the field flux is increases, that is added with a residual flux, so the voltage induced in the generator will be increases. See here the point. There is some amount of voltage there in a generator. Even the switch is open. When the switch is open, you can find some amount of voltage in a voltmeter. That is because of a residual flux. That may be 1 volt or 2 volts. That is there in the machine. Because of a residual magnetism for the magnetic poles. So after closing this one, already residual voltage is there. Because of the residual voltage, the current is flowing through the field winding. Whenever the current is flowing through the field winding, the flux is creating from the field winding, that is aided with a residual flux. That is pi r. This is pi r. This is flux due to the current IF. So whenever these two fluxes are added, the resultant flux in a machine will be increases. The voltage induced in a generator is increases. You can find there is an increase in the voltmeter reading. Till you can vary the voltage till reaches this voltage is equal to the rated voltage of a DC generator. You can vary the field current till this voltmeter reading is equal to the rated voltage of a DC generator. Suppose if you take the rated voltage of DC generator is 220 volts. You can change the field current up to the 220 volts. See here, throughout the experiment, we are noting only the two readings. One is voltmeter reading, another one is the ammeter reading. This voltmeter is connected across the generator, where the ammeter is connected in series with a field winding to know how much field current is flowing. Now once we know see here, what are the values we are noting means, you can take one table, simple table, serial number, field current, and this voltage. E naught. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this manner, you can take the, you can change the field current up to the, this voltmeter reading. This voltmeter reading is nothing but E naught. This voltmeter reading is nothing but a E naught up to the rated voltage of a generator, up to the 220 volts or 230 volts. How much voltage given by the manufacturer? Up to that value, you can increase the field current. See here, we have taken the field current in one column and voltage on the another column. Now we are going to take this data. By using this data, now we have taken the field current on the x-axis. We have taken the field current on x-axis and voltage on the y-axis, E naught on the y-axis. Now we are plotting a graph. That plot of the graph means, if you see the graph means here, it is there in this manner. The graph plot is in this manner. If you take the field current on the x-axis, this is x-axis, this is the y-axis. For every value of field current, the corresponding voltage is there here. Note on the point, if you line join all the points, we are getting this type of graph. This type of graph. See here, this is origin, this is A. What is this voltage? Nothing but the field current is 0. There is some amount of voltage is there in a generator. That is only because of the residual flux. That is only because of the residual flux. See here, the field current is 0. The field current is 0. But there is some amount of voltage is there in generator. That is because of the residual flux. See, from this point to this point, A to B, in this region, as the field current increases, the voltage induced in a generator also will be increases. The voltage induced in generator also will be increased. Again, from the point B to here, this is nothing but a saturation region. Saturated. What is the meaning of saturation? Saturated. Nothing but the machine is saturated. Even though if you are increasing the field current, there is no incremental in the voltage induced in a generator. There is no voltage induced in a generator. That is nothing but the generator is saturated. We never operated any machine in a saturation. Always we try to operate in a linear region only. In this from the point to this point. So why we should operate the generator in linear region means, as the field current is increased, the voltage increases. If the field current decreases, the voltage also will be decreases. That we are expecting from the generator. It is responding. The generator is responding to the field current. Once it is saturated means, it is not responding for the field current, even though if you are further increasing the field current, there is no incremental in the generator voltage. There is no incremental in the generator voltage. This is E naught, this is the IF. Already you have seen this plot. This voltage is nothing but a, OA is nothing but a residual magnetism. AB is nothing but a linear portion of the magnetization characteristics, where the BC is nothing but a saturation characteristics. The poles are saturated in a DC generator. Now if you observe this diagram, these are the different OCC curves at a different speeds. See here, first case, we are repeating the experiment. Suppose here, it is conducted, the OCC is conducted at a speed of 1000 RPM. First we have to maintain the speed of a generator at 1000 rpm by means of a DC motor and change the field current and note down the voltmeter reading and draw a graph between the field current to the voltage, then we are getting this graph. Second case, the same experiment we are repeating at a 1300 rpm, some other speed, increasing speed, we are getting the second graph. Again we are repeating the same experiment at a higher speeds, then we are getting this graph. See here, already we know that the EMF induced in a generator is equal to Zn pi by 60 into P by A. P by A. See here, Z is nothing but a number of conductors, N is nothing but a speed of a generator, P is nothing but a poles in a generator, number of poles in a generator, this is the constant. Nothing but all these parameters are constant. All these parameters are constant except EZ and pi. Whereas flux coming from the pole, pi is nothing but a flux coming from the pole that is highly depending upon the how much current is flowing through the field winding IF. How much current is flowing through the field winding IF. See here, as the N is increases, the generator voltage is increases. That's why here we are getting three different characteristics. Three different OCC characteristics we are getting at a different speeds. A different speed. The first one we can take it, it is conducted at a lower speed, that we can take 1000 rpm. The second one we can take it, the generator is operating at a some 1200 rpm. The third one we can take it as the generator is running at a 1500 rpm in this manner. As the speed is increases, the OCC characters will be shifted from the downwards to the upwards, downwards for the upward, but shape of the graph is same. Here some gap is there here, that is nothing but a residual voltage. This is nothing but a residual voltage. That always you have to keep in mind. In any self-excited generator, the residual magnetism is there. If the residual magnetism is not there, the generator does not build up in the voltage. Generator does not build up in the voltage. OCC characteristics. So what we are going to calculate the OCC of a DC generator. OCC of a DC generator. See here, suppose if you take the shunt generator, the armature is represented here. This is the armature. Across the armature, we are connecting a 1 voltmeter V here. The field resistance is there. Here the field is excited with a separate source. In OCC, here DC source. Here we can keep the variable resistance also. Okay. The field has some amount of resistance. The field has some amount of resistance. See here, in this case, we are taking the 230 ohms. Field resistance is RSH. Field resistance is 230 ohms. I have taken some example value, 230 ohms. So this is the OCC characteristics of the generator. Now on the OCC characteristics, we are superimposing the field resistance of a generator. So how we are going to superimpose this field resistance on the generator means, see here, the field current here 0.5, you can take it 1 ampere, 2 ampere, 3 ampere like that. Here you can take it as a some 50 volts, 150 volts, 230 volts, like that, 300 volts like that. In this manner you can take it. This field current, this is the voltage induced in a generator. This is the voltage induced in a generator. You have taken some value here. Now here, how we are going to represent this field resistance on the graph means, see how much value here? 230 volts. 230 volts equal to 230 ohms, sorry, 230 ohms. This is nothing but a resistance. The resistance equal to voltage by current. Voltage by current. Nothing but a how much voltage we have to take here and current, corresponding current, so that the ratio between these two becomes a 230. Ratio between the two becomes a 230. Like that, we have to note the points here. See, suppose it is always representing a straight line. No doubt in that one, it is a straight line because this is x, this is y. X by y equal to constant, nothing but x equal to my or y equal to mx. Nothing but it is straight line. You can easily if you identify the one point, then we can draw the resistance line in this graph. Suppose if you take the current value as a 1 ampere, the voltage should be the 230, then only this value becomes a 230 ohms. Then only the value becomes a 230. The current value 1 and corresponding voltage is 230. Now we have to identify this is 1 ampere of current and this is the 230. Nothing but we are getting this point. So in this manner, we have to draw a one line. This line is nothing but a resistance line. This line is nothing but a resistance line. In this manner, the resistance line of a generator we have drawn in this graph. This is the resistance line. This is nothing but a resistance line of a generator. This one is the resistance line of a what? So which resistance here? The field resistance of a generator. Field resistance of a generator. This is the OCC of a generator. Open circuit characteristics of a generator. As the field resistance increases, the straight line becomes in this manner. If further increases, it is not intersecting the OCC curve. It is not intersecting the OCC curve. See here, this is the OCC of generator. This is the field resistance. This is the field resistance. This is the field resistance line. This is the field resistance line. The field resistance line of a generator is intersecting a one point here. This is one. Intersecting at one point. Corresponding this point, if you find the voltage, you can take some voltage at 230 volts or something voltage. Some voltage, 230 volts like that. Some voltage. Corresponding this point, if you find the voltage, that voltage is representing the generator is giving a open circuit voltage of 230 volts at this value of field resistance, and corresponding field current is this one. That may be 2 ampere, some value 2 ampere. So what we can understand from this intersecting point means, from this intersecting point, you can easily say that how much voltage is induced in a generator with this value of resistance, with this value of field resistance, and corresponding to the field current, As the field resistance increases, this is the one value initially. As the field resistance increases, if you observe the graph closely, that line is, the field resistance line is going in this manner, passing from the origin. It is not intersecting the OCC curve. As the resistance value increases, field resistance increases, it is not intersecting the OCC curve? Nothing but if it is not intersecting the OCC curve means with that value of resistance, the generator does not generate a voltage or the power. Does not generate a power. It failed to generate a power. It is failed to generate a power. See here, from the OCC characteristics, we are finding the two parameters. One is critical field resistance. The second one is critical speed. Critical resistance is nothing but we have defined the critical resistance now. It is the value of resistance of a field winding of a generator above which generator failed to excite or failed to give a power to the load. Failed to give a power to the load. See, from here, as long as the field resistance is less than this value is nothing but the value of resistance corresponding this line is nothing but a critical field resistance. Critical field resistance. The field resistance less than this value, generator is giving a power to the load. If the field resistance is more than this value, the field resistance is more than this value, generator failed to give or failed to generate a power. Failed to generate a power. That's why we are defining the critical field resistance. The critical field resistance is the resistance value of a generator, field resistance, above which generator failed to build up a voltage. Failed to build up a voltage. It is a value of field resistance above which generator failed to excite. Failed to excite. Next. It is a value of field resistance at which the resistance line, the second point. It is a value of resistance, field resistance at which the resistance line is tangent to the linear portion of the saturation curve. Tangent to the saturation curve. This value of resistance is nothing but a critical field resistance. This value of resistance is nothing but a critical field resistance. Now, we are going to enter into the one more important parameter, that is the critical speed. That is the critical speed. So already we have seen the OCC of a DC generator. As the speed of a generator decreases, the OCC of a generator also will be decreases in this manner. In this manner it decreases. OCC of generator. The OCC of generator will be decreases in a downwards in this manner. This straight line is nothing but a field resistance line. Field resistance line. As the speed of a generator decreases, the magnitude of the voltage induced in a generator decreases, the OCC will be come to the down at one value of speed. The OCC of generator exactly tangent to the field resistance of a generator. Field resistance of a generator. Nothing but this value. If further decreasing the resistance, if further decreasing the speed of a generator, suppose from this value further decreasing the generator, what happens? The voltage induced in generator further decreases, the OCC does not touches the resistance line. If the OCC of generator at a given speed, if it is not touching it is not intersecting the resistance line, means it means that at that value of speed, generator failed to build up a voltage for given value of the field resistance. You try to understand here. It is very, very important. These are the three graphs. The three graphs are, two graphs are intersecting the resistance line. The third graph is exactly tangent. If further decreasing the speed of a generator, this is the OCC, which is not touching the, intersecting the field resistance of a generator. What is the meaning of this one? See here, with these two speeds of a generator, it is built up in a voltage because the resistance line is intersecting the OCC. The resistance line is intersecting the OCC. But when we come to the third speed, the OCC is exactly tangent to the, this is tangent to the resistance line is exactly tangent. The resistance line is exactly tangent. If further decrease the speed of a generator, we are getting the OCC that we are showing as a red line that is not intersecting the field resistance line. That is not intersecting the field resistance line. Nothing but with this speed, it is not intersecting the field resistance line is nothing but with this speed, there is no voltage will be induced in a generator. No voltage will be induced in a generator with this value of resistance. So, there is some cutoff for the speed of a generator so that below which it failed to build up a voltage. It is failed to build up a voltage. Now the critical speed. The critical speed is nothing but, now we are defining the critical speed from this concept. The critical speed is nothing but, it is the speed of a generator below which generator failed to build up a voltage. Generator failed to build up a voltage. See here, the speed is nothing but the third graph. This third one is representing the, this one. It is representing the critical speed for this generator. If further decreasing the speed of a generator, it does not build up in the voltage with this value of field resistance. With this value of field resistance. These are the two important parameters that we have to calculate for the shunt generator or the shunt generator. That is, one is critical field resistance and second one is the critical speed. Once again repeating the same definition for the critical field resistance. The critical field resistance is the resistance above which the generator failed to excite built up in the voltage at a given speed. At a given speed. The critical speed is nothing but it is the speed of a generator below which generator failed to build up a voltage at a given resistance or field resistance of a generator. Field resistance of a generator. See here, try to understand very clearly. When we are defining the critical field resistance, we are keeping the speed of a generator as a constant. When we are defining the critical speed, we are keeping the resistance, field resistance of a generator is constant. Field resistance of generator is constant. External characteristics. It is a curve drawn between the voltage across the generator to the load current. The voltage across the generator and load current, nothing but we should connect some amount of load across the generator. So before connecting a load across a generator, first we have made the generator to reach the rated voltage. We have made the generator to reach the rated voltage. This is the circuit diagram for this external characteristics of a DC generator. This is the armature. This is the field winding. This is the field winding. This is armature. Here we kept the one voltmeter. Here we kept the one ammeter to measure the